If you travel across Asia, parts of Africa, and even some areas in Latin America, you'll notice something interesting. Whether the meal is fish, meat, vegetables, or stew, there is almost always one thing on the plate: rice. It's there at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's served at celebrations, family meals, street stalls, and restaurants. But have you ever stopped to wonder why rice became the food that goes with almost everything? How did this simple grain become so universal, so essential, and so deeply connected to daily life? Today we're exploring the history, culture, and practicality behind this everyday staple. Let's dive in, right here, on History of Simple Things. One of the biggest reasons rice is served so often is simple. It feeds a massive portion of the world. Rice is the staple food for more than half of the global population and is eaten daily by billions of people, especially across Asia, where it has been cultivated and consumed for thousands of years. In many countries in this region, rice alone provides a large share of daily calories, making it not just a side dish, but the foundation of entire diets. Because rice is so central to nutrition and survival, meals naturally developed around it rather than the other way around. Over time, dishes like stews, grilled meats, and vegetables were designed to complement rice, not replace it. This long history of dependence is one reason rice remains at the center of the table even today, both in rural communities and in modern cities. Another reason rice became so common is that it is practical to produce. Rice farming, especially in irrigated fields, can yield large amounts of food from relatively small areas of land, which helps sustain growing populations for centuries. Irrigation systems made harvests more reliable, and later agricultural improvements increased yields even further, making rice more abundant and affordable for ordinary households. Once harvested, rice can be dried and stored for long periods without spoiling, which made it ideal for societies that needed dependable food reserves between harvest seasons. Because rice was widely available, easy to store, and dependable year after year, it naturally became the everyday base for meals in many parts of the world. Rice is uniquely suited to being served with many kinds of dishes because of its flavor and texture. Unlike strongly flavored staples, rice has a mild, neutral taste. This allows it to complement salty, sweet, spicy, or savory foods without overpowering them. Historically, this flexibility mattered. In many regions, meat and rich ingredients were scarce or expensive, so families cooked small portions of flavorful dishes and stretched them by serving them over rice. Rice absorbed sauces, balanced strong flavors, and made meals feel more filling. Over time, cuisines were built around this structure, a flavorful main dish accompanied by rice. Rice isn't just a source of food. In many regions, it helps shape entire societies. Across Asia, rice cultivation influenced where people settled and how communities worked together, since irrigated farming required shared water systems and coordinated planting and harvesting. Over time, rice also became connected to traditions, ceremonies, and festivals, often symbolizing life, prosperity, and abundance. Reliable rice harvests supported population growth, which allowed towns and cities to expand and economies to develop. When a crop becomes this important to both survival and culture, it naturally becomes part of everyday meals as well. Even today, this long history helps explain why rice remains at the center of so many plates around the world. A major reason rice is served with almost everything is its affordability. Rice is generally cheaper than meat, dairy, and many other staple foods, yet it provides a steady source of calories and energy, making it reliable for everyday meals. In many parts of the world, especially in developing regions, rice makes up a significant portion of daily food intake because it helps families meet their basic nutritional needs. Pairing rice with smaller portions of fish, vegetables, or meat also allows meals to go further, which is especially important in households feeding several people. Because of this, rice became a practical way to make meals both filling and economical. Over time, this approach to cooking turned into a habit that was passed down through generations. Even today, many people continue to rely on rice not only for tradition, but also because it remains one of the most cost-effective foods available. Over time, eating rice moved beyond practicality and became a daily habit. Generations were raised with rice at almost every meal, and the foods we grow up eating often shape what feels comforting and complete later in life. In many cultures, a table full of dishes can still feel lacking if there is no rice served alongside them. Language and everyday expressions sometimes reflect this connection, where the idea of a meal is closely tied to the presence of rice. When a food becomes woven into routine, memory, and identity, it holds its place even as lifestyles modernize. That is why rice remains a constant on the table, from rural households to busy urban apartments. Even with globalized diets and fast food options, many people still return to rice as their default comfort and foundation. It is no longer just about sustenance, but about familiarity and cultural continuity. So why is rice served with almost everything? It comes down to history, geography, culture, and practicality working together. Rice feeds billions, grows efficiently, stores well, and pairs easily with other foods, which made it a reliable foundation for generations. Over time, it became more than just sustenance. It became part of identity and daily life. That's why in many countries today, rice isn't simply a side dish. It's the base that brings the whole meal together. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.